Courtney from Mr. Gift. Welcome to our next video blog. Today I'm quite excited to share a brand with you called the Little Veggie Patch Co. This is a new brand, a relatively new brand that's been around for about 5 years. It was formed by a couple of guys called Fabian and Matthew. They're two guys based in Melbourne, and they basically identified the need for creating gardens in small spaces effectively. So there's a lot of people that live in cities. They might live in an apartment or a townhouse. They've got limited space and they might not have the conventional garden space that a house provides. So these guys have basically set up a company that will come around to you and set up a garden for you. Along with their garden service and the design service that they offer, they also do a range of products. Some of these include books and also a range of heirloom seed varieties, which we've started to stock and also sell on Mr. Gift. So I just wanted to run you through a few of these products that we've got. Quite excited about the offering that these provide, and they make great gifts for anyone. Two people really, people that are into gardening and love gardening and kind of know what they're doing, and also people that might be new to gardening that are a little bit nervous about what to plant and what to start off with. The books form a really good guide around how to do that, and the plant or seed varieties that we sell are really great varieties that are easy to grow and will grow in a lot of regions in Australia. So I'll start by talking about the books. The first book that we've got here is How to Grow Food in Small Spaces. So this was the first book that they developed based around their principle of growing gardens in smaller spaces. There's a really great wealth of information in here about the types of plants to grow. So book 1 in particular has a really good section on A to Z of plants. So you can see for each of the plants there's quite extensive information. For example, you've got carrots, where to grow them, when to grow them, when to harvest, etc. Really useful tips on how to grow all these different varieties. In amongst that though, there's some really great bits of information and activities that you can sort of follow that surround the garden. So this one, for example, is Stop Losing Your Tools. It's basically an article that talks about different ways that you can look after your tools and prevent losing them in the garden. There's also a really great sort of collection of recipes, if you like, of how to use a lot of the vegetables that they talk about in the books. And there's some really cracking photography. Some of the images in here are just beautiful. So whilst they're sort of full of really useful, interesting information, they're also an absolute pleasure to read and flick through because they are, very visually exciting books. There's some information in here obviously about pests and diseases and really easy ways that you can sort of control those. And a lot of the solutions that they give are organic as well, which is really important these days. So that's book 1, which was one of the best-selling gardening books in Australia over the last couple of years. So definitely a good one to get started. The second book, which is the Guide to Backyard Farming, it continues on the first book in the sense that we've still got a great sort of selection of activities and recipes and things like that. But the format is different in the sense that it's kind of set up month by month. So basically each month it tells you what to do, what you're harvesting, what you're sowing, what you're cooking, and it's got everything through from plants, but also there's a bit of information on chickens, fruit trees, sort of lots of different things to cater for different people in different gardens. So a really, really great source of information for a contemporary gardener that might not have the acres of land that people used to have for a garden. In terms of the heirloom seeds, there's 6 varieties that we've got, so I'll quickly sort of talk you through these. They're all heirloom varieties. So heirloom basically means it's an older style variety, a vintage variety that may have been around for a number of years. So they're good quality seeds and also good quality varieties that provide good sort of fruit and of course great flavour, which is really important. So the beetroot, for example, is a great one. This is Detroit beetroot, and you can grow and eat the beetroot roots and also the leaves, which are fabulous in salads and really nutritious. Old favourite is spinach, so this is bloom style spinach, which again also works really beautifully in salads and also cooked up you can use them in a lot of sort of pastas and things like that as a great health addition. Along the same lines as the spinach, we've got the Swiss chard. This is a rainbow variety. So the rainbow is particularly beautiful because it has lots of multicoloured stems. So this looks fabulous in the garden as well as being really tasty and nutritious. Then we've also got 3 different tomato varieties. So the first one here is the yellow pear tomato. And an interesting fact about tomatoes is the first tomatoes that were known to humans were actually yellow tomatoes as opposed to red tomatoes. So this is a really traditional style of tomato. I love using the coloured tomatoes in salads and chopped up as fresh tomatoes. They really add a lovely sort of colour element to a lot of dishes. So that's the yellow pear. The next one we've got is the Tommy Toad tomato. This one is a fantastic combination of your Tom Thumb tomato mixed with kind of a bigger size. So you're getting the best of both. You're getting the Tom Thumb flavour, but a tomato that's the size of a ping pong ball. So you're getting quite a decent sized tomato as well. Again, these ones are great roasted. In salads, they're a really lovely sort of sweet, full flavour. And the final one that we've got is the Black Russian tomato. So a really deep sort of mahogany colour. This one's really rich and spicy, so great sort of as a cooked tomato, but also works equally well in a salad and provides a lovely different sort of shade of colour. So we're really excited to have this brand on board. We're totally in sort of alliance, I guess, with what the guys are trying to achieve in terms of their holistic approach to gardening, and love the idea that they're trying to, make gardening an inclusive activity rather than being something that's quite exclusive and difficult. It's something that should be accessible for everyone, and obviously, to provide a form of, fun and leisure getting out in the garden. Also, the benefits of being able to eat something healthy that you've grown yourself are fantastic. So hop on to vistagift.com.au, check out the range of products, and keep these in mind if you've got some, birthdays and occasions coming up where you need to buy a gift for someone that might be into gardening.